Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Planescape Torment. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today here in front of this statue that's from a guy that's casting a curse. Let's transform the statue into a person. You smear the foul-smelling ointment over the statue. There is a strange shimmering around the statue, and you watch as the statue takes an intake of breath, and the eyes of Gangroi Gidon fill with a blazing, vengeful madness. I'm gonna cover my ears first. Before you can do a thing, a blazing torrent of words flies from the sorcerer's lips. As he speaks, you feel an agonizing sensation, like a sudden wave of raging heat, pour over you and settle into your skin like a blistering wound. Blindness strikes you as your eyes burst. Oh boy. Running from their sockets like shattered eggs. You hear someone screaming, and realize it's you. Apparently I'm waiting for the horror to end. The last thing you hear, even over your own cries, is Morte shouting,
Taunts, all right.
Well, by the lady's bladed teats, what a... And everything suddenly falls silent as the last of your senses flicker and fade away to nothing. Okay, I'm gonna die horribly, a victim of Gangroi Gidon's awful curse.
No matter, he'll be up in a bit.
I know, it's gonna be fine. But, that's...
I'm gone.
I hate this.
Indeed you are.
I hate this. Why are we here? Come on. Anyway, let's go back to the clerk's ward. We were in the Art of Gallery and Art and Gallery and Curio. That's the one. The Gallery of, or the Galleria, as it's called, of Art and Curio. So we need to go in there again and see if the guy. What happened to the other dude? Maybe. Yeah. Well, I gained the experience and Morte gained the taunt, which is pretty decent. Yeah, he's not there anymore. Excuse the hiccup. The statue, in truth, the once petrified sorcerer Gangroi Gidon, is simply gone, presumably having walked off without leaving so much as a note of apology. He wasn't here to begin with. I saw him. He wasn't here. He was definitely not here. He didn't even... well, I gained 4,000 experience. I am okay with that. What do we have over here? The surface of this painting, a wind collage of vivid colors. A wild collage of vivid colors ripples constantly as if it were the surface of a pond during a light rain. A placard reads, Wave Motion Study 7, or number 7. I'm gonna touch the paint. You place your palm against the canvas. You cannot feel the ripples themselves, though a cool, tingling sensation passes through your hand at first contact. Sure. Let's mess with this thing. What is this? A brilliant ruby statuette stands on this pedestal, carved into the image of a winged humanoid. The figure is either demonic or angelic in nature, but it is difficult to tell which, because it refracts the light in the Galleria strangely. There is no placard indicating what exactly the statuette is. I thought it was... I don't know what it is. Is it a reference? It might be a reference. A massive horn of beaten lead, wound with brazen chains. The horn is horribly mangled, and if some tremendous force had crushed it, or as if some tremendous force had crushed it. Jagged blades protrude along its length, almost as if it were meant to be used as a club by some gigantic creature, as well as a battle horn. A black heart mounted beneath the horn reads, Cleansing Horn of Acheron. Okay, I'm gonna try to blow the horn, but first I'm gonna save. And hopefully this guy's not gonna die, because he's right here. Try as you might, you can get no sound to issue from the massive horn. Your lips come away from the mouthpiece, tasting of blood, smoke, and metal. Huh. Maybe it is supposed to be used as a club. Or maybe it's not. A painting of tall, black cliffs against a blood-red sky. There looks to be figures hiding amongst the crags of the cliffs, but whenever you squint at the painting to try and make them out, the images fade into nothing. A placard reads, Outland Raiders. And over here we have a Sensate and Ivana. We also have some paintings that I'm gonna mess with. That's the rippling one, maybe. This painting, an abstract work of greens and purples, writhes and ripples as it's watched. Yeah. Closer examination reveals that the actual painted image is changing rather than the canvas itself. A placard states, Moment's Glance from the walls of Mokma. Sure. I'm gonna touch the painting. You place your hand upon the painting as you had suspected. It is not that the canvas is physically moving, but that the painted image itself is changing. This painting shows that what looks to be an infinitely long stream of bilous green gas stretched off into the darkness. The horizon of a blasted rocky plain can be seen in the lower right-hand corner of the painting. One is given the impression that the head of the green cloud is rearing to strike down upon it. A placard reads, Azazoth of the consumption of... at the consumption of Ngar. Or Engar? Ngar? I don't... Anyway. And we have this thing. So maybe we're not supposed to talk to... No, we're supposed to talk to Ivana. An animated bloody iron chain, coiling and uncoiling upon itself. The chain itself seems to bend and weave like the spine of a snake. A small placard reads, A Chiton's animate chain from Jangling Hitter. Okay, I'm gonna touch the chain. The chain is slightly warm to the touch as if it were alive. You notice that various barbs, tiny hooks, needles, and other small, sharp bits are welded along the chain's length. How do I notice that? By taking damage from it? Because that sounds like it would be a thing you would notice. Before you is a well-dressed elderly woman in a gown of peach-colored and golden thread. She stands quietly, her hands folded together primly, and nods in your direction. It is then that you notice that she has no pupils. Her eyes are entirely white. Greetings, sir. I am Ivana. Welcome to my Galleria. Feel free to look about, spending as much time here as you like. Should you have questions regarding any of the pieces, do not hesitate to ask me of them. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I didn't come to you first. Sorry. I had some questions. One moment, sir. Your voice... It is heavy with age and wounds. Would you be so kind as to permit me to touch your face? Yeah, go ahead. Ivana smiles, gently running her old hands over the skin of your face. She frowns, looking slightly puzzled. So many scars, both old and new. They seem to... And she touches the side of your throat, flushes, and then pulls away. Pardon me, sir. I was curious to see how far they went. It's fine. And they're everywhere. My whole body is scarred. Ivana nods. I had some questions then. Of course, please ask. Excuse me. Can you see, Ivana? I cannot see, but only because I do not wish to. In time, I will allow my vision to return so that I can re-experience the contents of my Galleria with the benefits of new, fresh eyes. That doesn't sound very good. Are you gonna get new, fresh eyes? Because that doesn't sound very good. Do you know what this little cube-like toy creature is? Or cube? Yeah, toy creature, yeah. Ivana takes the item and drags her fingers along it. She feels along the exterior of the object, then hands it back to you. It is more than just a well-crafted toy Modron, that's for certain. It may be some sort of puzzle box or portal key. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the portal keys. That's another reason to just get everything that you can, because any one of these things could be, any one of the things that I bought could be a portal key. What's a Modron? Modrons are a race of lawful orderly beings. They come in many shapes and forms, each one occupying a different level in the rigid Modron hierarchy. I think this sort is called a quadrone. Okay. So I suppose the Modrons inside the brothel are probably gonna want that, or something to do with that. You look familiar to me. Do you know someone named Eve? That is my daughter. For a moment there is a hint of sadness in the milky whiteness of her eyes. We no longer speak to one another. Why's that? There is nothing to be said between us. She has gone off in pursuit of stories, all for reasons I am unaware of. She told me a tale that might answer that question. Ivana... Oh, look at that. Eve and Ivana. Ivana raises her eyebrows. Oh? Tell me, would you please? I'd most appreciate it, sir. Okay, I'm gonna tell her the Tale Chaser's story and of her endless quest for the tale that holds the truth she seeks. Ivana nods slowly. I had no idea. I will see her now. I thank you, good sir, for bringing me this news of my only daughter. As she speaks, color slowly bleeds into her pale irises until her eyes are a brilliant shade of green. Your eyes. Can you see now, Ivana? She nods, smiling. Okay, well... That's really nice. What is this place? Why, it's my Galleria of the Plains, and she smiles and gestures around her. These pieces have been brought from far and wide. Some I sell, some I keep. All I display at one time or another. Please enjoy them, and again, should you have questions regarding any of the pieces, do not hesitate to ask me of them. Okay, yeah, I'll ask them last because I think I broke one. Although, I'm curious about that one in particular, because, well, it's not the only one that... It's not the only one that I couldn't interact with, but that one is the only one that kind of leaves things as in question. And this one is interesting as well, but we'll see. What is of interest here? I'm afraid that I do not go far from beyond the Galleria and cannot help you with this matter. You might try and ask someone else. Oh, I didn't mean in this area of the city. I meant in the Galleria. Where could I find work here? Okay, so she goes back to that. And what do you know of Ravel Puzzlewell? She is an night hag, one of the eldest Grey Sisters of the Wastes, who came to Sigil many centuries ago to pursue arcane experiments. It was believed that these experiments were against the lady's will, and that Ravel was thus banished from Sigil, imprisoned within one of the lady's mazes on the ethereal where her body rests to this very day. Ravel was said to have been a master of riddles and puzzles, but it was believed that one riddle, one question in particular, was said to have plagued the ancient night hag. What can change the nature of a man? She issued a challenge to any who were interested. She promised to instruct any who came to her in her craft, if they could only answer the question to her satisfaction. If they could not, they consented to be her next meal. Many died coveting Ravel's teachings, and it is believed that until her final hours in Sigil, Ravel never discovered the answer to her question. I think I'm drawing a connection here between Ravel and me. She might be the original owner of my body. And if I would need, I'm trying to think of all the warnings that we received, but if I had known this as a theory, when I was warned of her, maybe I could try to test that theory, but she might be the one, and her banishment might be more than just a... I don't know though. I don't know. She has a very specific description or something, but she probably is very connected to who the original person that was in my body ever was, or yeah. But anyway, Ravel's crime was believed to be some means of trying to shatter the cage, trying to crack open Sigil itself for some unknown reason. Ivana sighs. That is all I know of her. It's very interesting. I have some questions about one of the pieces. So what about the Arcadian stained glass? I think that was over there or something. A stained glass window found hovering on the third layer of Arcadia 32 years ago, foretelling a scene that had yet to occur. When the event came to pass, the images faded to leave what you saw behind. It is believed to have captured both the light and the darkness from the orb of night and day on Arcadia, then slowly release it, creating a brief but slow fade of dawning and dusk, but only within the glass itself. Orb of night and day, Arcadia? Arcadia is a plane of peaceful order, also known as the land of perfect good. The orb of night and day is a sphere that's set in the top of Arcadia's highest peak. Each half emits either light or darkness. The turning of the orb gives Arcadia its day and night. Okay. What about the battle horn of Akaros? Ah, the cleansing horn. A horn of beaten lead metal drawn directly from the cube of Acheron. It is said that the cleansing horn last sounded where the companies of the Jackal and the Gouged Eye clans met for their battle at the disputed lands. Legends tell us that this horn's power was used near the battle's end to draw the floating cubes together, crushing the routing company of the Jackal before it could escape. Yeah, Acheron is a... I'm not gonna bother asking cubes in Acheron. Acheron is a plane of harshly enforced order, where conformity is more important than good. It is composed of a gigantic metallic cubes which float through an endless void. Many cubes are large enough that cities or entire kingdoms have been built upon their faces. What about the dark birds of Acanthus? I don't remember that one.
Updated my journal.
All of them are chipped from great magical sheet of black infinite ice that rests in the... Oh, I know. This is the one that I have, yeah. That rests in the black belly of the plain of Acanthus. Ivana pauses, tapping her chin. It is said that this sheet of ice is the final destination of the river Styx. Oh, great. Then we have what we need. And that the recollections of all that have plunged into the Styx memory-destroying water still lie frozen within the ice. If the waters of the Styx destroy one's memories, would this ice from Acanthus do the same? I could only assume so, yes. Okay. What about the ruby statuette over there? Oh, that piece was found in a cathedral in the fertile fields of Elysium, on the first layer, Amoria the Untroubled, where it bordered the river Oceanus. The name of the... That's a weird name for a river, but sure. The name of the piece is not known, but the skill and craftsmanship are believed to be one of the most striking examples of gem crafting in the plains. The mere way in which the piece is captured distills and enhances the light through its facets is part of its breathtaking wonder. It seems to bring the light to possible ideological connection between even the most evil and the purest beings in the multiverse. Fascinating. I wish I could buy stuff like this, but apparently it's not possible. What about the Chiton's animate chain? The chain comes from the city of Jangling Hitter. Or Hyter, I suppose? Because Hitter would be 2 T's, so Hyter. The city of chains that hangs on Menorus, third layer of Bator. The chains there are the finest in the multiverse, but the inhabitants of Jangling Hyter are malicious and cruel, using the chains as living weapons against all that enter their city and violate their laws. Chitons have, or move about the city of chains as spiders upon webs, adorned in chains woven tightly around their bodies. Chitons possess a power known as the Gift of Chains, which allows them to manipulate chains with their minds. It is believed that my Galeria's chains was animated during a battle in which the Chiton controlling it was slain with a cursed hammer, its life essence then passing into the chain itself. Oh. That's a very special thing, then. The statue of the Screaming Man. Odd you should ask about that. Just after a terrible noise, some patrons came running to me about a mangled corpse on the floor. The Harmonium came to remove the body from the premises, but could find no perpetrator. I told them that, in all likelihood, some madman had released Gangroi Gidon and been slain by his curse. But the old sorcerer himself was nowhere to be found. I know nothing more. Yeah, it definitely wasn't me, because I didn't die, so yeah, it was definitely not me. What about one of the paintings? There's so many, oh my god. Karasutran Shoreline. Karasutra is a layer of the Beastlands which is perpetually shrouded in night, filled with all manners of animals that stalk their prey in the darkness. A painter who had fallen in love with a cat lord and followed her to her homeland gave the painting to me. Never did he reveal to me the secrets of their construction. Yeah. What about the outland raiders over there? An interesting piece, yes? The painter managed a most interesting effect with the forms in the cliff's shadows. The woman who brought me this piece told me she found it in an abandoned camp on the Outlands. The original painter was never found. Presumably they were slain by some raiders whose image they captured in the painting. Yeah, there's actually ways to do that in real life. I mean, that one is particularly fantastic, I assume, where you just see clear, distinct pictures, and then when you look at them, they disappear. The opposite can actually happen, because you just need to think of, for example, the pixels on a screen. Or actually, I say the pixels on a screen, this is a little bit tricky to convey, but imagine this. This picture over here, it's composed of pixels, right? But if you zoom in all too much, you won't be able to see the details. For example, you won't be able to see the lines because you're too zoomed in, and you'll start to see individual pixels. It's not a good example though. I don't know. The better example, there's examples of this, basically of illusions using pixels. You just need to look it up. But you could probably do that, I suppose, in painting. I mean, if you paint in pixels, at least you can do the same exact thing as pixel illusion in painting, but not necessarily. You don't need to paint in pixels to make illusions. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. What about this one? Azazoth of the Conception of Legarth. I think that's that one over there. This painting is a copy from the wall of one of the gatehouses, Sigil's largest asylum cell walls. The cell walls of the gatehouse, yeah. All the occupant could speak was Azazoth has consumed Ngar. Azazoth has consumed Ngar. A bit frightening, I think, but a fine painting nonetheless. Yeah. So what about the surface of Thalasia? Thalasia is the sea in which the river Oceanus, which winds through most of all the plain of Elysium, begins and ends. The piece was painted by one of the many island's inhabitants. What about the library? I know very little about these pieces. It simply arrived on the doorstep of my galleria one day, swathed in black cloth and labeled "From the Citadel." One knowledgeable patron hypothesized that it might be some great sorcerer's fortress, suspended within a demi-plane of their own creation. What about the folly of Udo? This painting illustrates one of the legends of the prime world Goha. Udo was a wizard king of such skill and power that he set to casting a spell that would turn himself into a power, and the people of his great nation into divine servants. With his folly. With the spell's completion, lightning crashed down upon Udo's palace, setting it ablaze, and before the thunder had died away, the city was empty, not a living thing to be found. Over 70,000 people vanished without a trace, in a heartbeat. No one knows the fate of Udo or his people. Yeah, a little bit reminiscent of what happened to the Dwemer in Morrowind. Well, I guess the Elder Scrolls, really. What about the veil beneath Clangadin? Bullbog Stones. My god, those names. Bullbog Stone Nose sold this painting to me. It is a field beneath Mount Clangadin, the home of the dwarf Einheriar. Spirits of the upper planes who serve as guardians or warriors in the plane of Arcadia. Okay. I'm going through all of them because it's because it's interesting, but also because we probably will gain experience or might gain experience for some of them. So I gained that one already. What about the Grey Hag of Oinus? This is said to be a portrait of Ravel Puzzlewell. Very likely the most evil hag ever to have terrorized the Grey Wastes and beyond. I know where it is. Oh, wait a minute. I'm just connecting. That's the hag that gave us the wish to forget. Crap. That's the connection. Oh, didn't mean to do that. That's the connection right there. Greetings again. Do you have a question regarding one of the pieces? Yeah. About the paintings. About the Grey Hag of Oinus. So, what do you know of Ravel Puzzlewell? She is a night hag, one of the eldest Grey Sisters of the Wastes, who came to Sigil many centuries ago to pursue arcane experiments. It was believed that these experiments... Okay, so she goes back to what she knows about... I'm sorry. Yeah. Just now realized what that was all about. So, about the paintings, the wave motion study number 7. A young man whose name I do not know sold me this piece. It was one of several he had, but the others already had owners, or so he said. I would so like to possess the entire collection, but alas, it oft seems some things are not meant to be. Yeah, I suppose. What about the moment... Oh, there's more. Moments glance from the walls of Makokokokok. Makokokokok is a gift-that fortress which floats in the plane of Limbo. The moment's glance was painted by the Chaos Scholar D, who remembers everything she sees with perfect clarity when she is not stricken with madness. Okay. Sounds like an interesting woman. I guess that's that. Yeah, never mind, actually. Farewell. Okay, the Galleria of Art and Curio. That's the way out. I thought the way out was over here, but apparently it's over there. So let's get out. And now let's go back to,
Right.
What's his name? Merriman? Yeah. And complete that quest. So we found it. At the very last, my god. I went everywhere. I went literally everywhere for that. And the last place that I could ever check. You need to be careful not to say the last place that I checked, because it's always the last place that you check if you stop checking after you find things. But yeah, the last place that I could have checked, or that I would have checked, I think that's the correct way, was the one that had the thing. Well, I think that was fortuitous, though. That was fortuitous, I suppose. Hey, Merryman, I got something for you here. Hey. Here, take this mug. It holds a dark bird of Acanthus, a sliver of ice from the river Styx. It should wipe your memories clean. Merriman takes the mug and removes a piece of paper from his pocket. He tilts the mug back and takes the ice into his mouth. It melts instantly, leaving him with a somewhat startled expression. Merriman?
Updated my journal.
Merriman looks at you confused, then at the paper in his hands. He reads aloud. Congratulations, Merriman. You've begun again. Thank the man in front of you and give him the key in your pocket. Speak to Splinter, the man at the door to this building, for more information. He looks to you again. Well, it would seem I owe you thanks, good sir. Here, take this key. I'd best find this Splinter fellow and find out what's going on. Yeah, thanks, Merriman. Good luck. Okay. Also, we'll probably be joining the Sensate. Somebody commented that I should join a faction. I don't know whose faction I will join. I need to find the other ones, I suppose. But then again, where would they be? This is the only real... I mean, there's 15 factions. We learned all about them, but where are they? I suppose they could be down there. But anyway, for right now, we're going to the brothel again. And then, yeah, we might join the Sensates. They are an interesting fellow. They're a little bit too... interesting fellows, I should say. They're a little bit too... steadfast, probably is not the word, but a little bit too... focused on their own thing. But yeah, whatever. So, I need... return to Vivian's... No, that's the other thing. The key, yeah, Delora. To talk to Delora for the keys to our heart. Hey, Delora. Delora's eyes flash as she sees you. Did you find him? Has he agreed to return the keys to my heart? Yeah, I have the keys to your heart. Here you go.
Updated my journal.
At last. As she takes the keys from your grasp, her hand brushes against yours. Her skin is dry, but icy to the touch, like cold metal. These will be of great use to me. I thank you. Yeah, I just remember that she's an automaton, so that's why. Yeah, of course, Delora. I had some questions, though. Of course, I will answer what I can. I didn't ask anything about her or of her before, have I? Anyway, we'll ask all of these questions, or the ones that I haven't asked before. We'll ask them next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Planescape Torment. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye!